Hey guys, welcome to another video. I know it's been forever. So yeah, life has been lifing. So yeah, sorry for the break, but sometimes it's necessary to go back within yourself, figure out what the fuck you went from this life. Anyway, so we're back in a different setting. Yeah, so welcome. And to the guys who missed me, hi. To the guys who are new here, I'm Masi Nyango, the Fab Philosopher. And yeah, as always, let's get right into it. Today we're talking about living with yourself. So this subject or topic came to me after watching this Netflix show. It's same title, Living with Yourself. So spoiler alert for the people who give a shit. Yeah, so basically in the series, this guy is having a really shitty life, and then his colleague refers him to a spa where they rejuvenate you, or you come out as a better version of yourself. So he goes to the spa, and yeah, so he comes out as a better version of himself. Only is that it's a clone of who he was. So they kill the version of you that is now, like literally kill you physically, and then they clone you and make a better version of you. Healthier, more confident, just a vibrant, people person. So this guy supposedly he doesn't die. So he's back and he meets his better version. So now they have to live together. So basically he's living with himself, literally. But for us, I'll use some examples from the series, but at the same time, just in normal, real life situation, where living with yourself means the voices in your head, how you talk to yourself, how you treat yourself. Do you forgive yourself when you feel, you've acted in a way that you didn't like? So yeah, basically, we'll start with point number one, which is forgive yourself. So I feel like older versions of me have done things that maybe I'm not so proud of. But I wouldn't hate myself if I ever met my older selves. I might not be okay with some of the actions they, are taken, but me in myself, I feel like I would still be, able to be friends with them. I'd still be able to hang out with myself and, have fun. So basically, learn to forgive yourself. If you act in a way that you feel is not, your best self, then you should find a way to correct the action. But don't stab yourself. Don't be so angry at yourself that you don't even give yourself a chance to evolve and grow and learn from the situation. No one is perfect, so you in yourself should always remind yourself that you're not perfect, and you shouldn't judge yourself so harshly if you act in a way or if you say things that you're not very proud of. I like to look at adulting as being your own parents. You're basically now making decisions for yourself the way you'd make for your kid, or someone you're taking care of. So you're now taking care of yourself. So if you come out of yourself and like in the series now there's a you there physically, how would you want them to treat you, or how would you want to treat them? So always look at yourself as a third party, if I can say that. Like, learn to come out of your own mind and see yourself as a human being who's trying their best, who's doing, the most they can in a world where we have no idea sometimes what is going on. So yeah, that was point number one. Forgive yourself. Point number two is understand yourself. Be consciously aware of your actions, and what you're doing, why you're doing it, who you're spending your time with and why, what you're doing for a living and why, what you're watching and why, what you're listening to and why. So basically, be consciously aware of who you are, where you are, what you're doing, what are you eating, what are you drinking. Don't just cruise through life without being aware of your surroundings, being aware of your body, being aware of your mind, of your thoughts. I like keeping a journal. It's first of all it's fun, and then I love writing, I love reading, so it comes with that. But basically, it helps me reflect on the actions I make, or the actions I don't make, or what kind of life I would want. So basically, the journal keeps me aware of, what is going on in my life, what rate am I moving at, what direction am I going. So once you're aware of yourself and your surroundings, then it becomes easier to be nicer to yourself. It becomes easier to love yourself because you're aware of, your flaws, your strengths, your weaknesses. So even if someone tells you the contrary to that, you're able to stand up for yourself, or better yet, you're able to just keep quiet because you know you know who you are, and someone else's opinion or someone else's version of you is now not your problem, because people have a version of you. And I feel like life comes to a balance if you have somewhat portrayed the you that you think you are, because some of us have very high thoughts of ourselves, but in reality we don't project that, people don't see that. So once you become very aware of yourself, then you're able to project the you that you know to the outside world, and that comes with a lot of awareness. You have to be really honest with yourself, to thy own self be true. Like, lying to yourself can be the hardest thing, because at the back of your mind, in your subconscious mind, you genuinely know who you are, what you're capable of. So if you've created a version of yourself that even you don't believe in, then it becomes really hard to live with yourself. Yeah, so that's point number 2, which is be aware of yourself. Point number 3 is know the ideal version of you that you want, and be ready for that. Like, learn to show up every day as your ideal version. And trust me, this is not easy. Going back to the you that you're used to the you that is used to problems or chaos, is very easy, because we'd rather walk in hell in a path that we know than face an unknown path. Sorry about the noise. So basically, learn to embrace your ideal version even before they show up. Learn to be okay with your best self, so that when that time comes, it won't shock you. Like, it won't shock you when you have nice things. It won't shock you when you're living the life you want. It won't shock you when you get the love you deserve. It won't shock you when you get the money and the job that you deserve. So always put in mind that you can become a better version of yourself. I feel like sometimes, so sorry about that. I feel like sometimes we do actions that are not to our best, or we say things or do things that are not right, and then we are like, oh, I'm just human, it's okay. Then you forgive yourself, which is fine, but at the end of the day, we can always be better humans. You can always be a better version of yourself. That's why there's always room for improvement. Like, once you stop changing and evolving, then you start dying. So basically, you're always becoming either a better version of yourself, or you're going the opposite direction, which is dying and decreasing. Because if you don't evolve, most of the time you will repeat, and by repeating you will repeat the negative, not the positive. So once you keep repeating the negative, then you're deteriorating, you're becoming lesser of who you are. So just always keep an image of the best version of yourself, how you want to show up every day for others, for yourself. And sooner or later, you will find yourself in places or around people who make you that person, who show you that you really are, a better version of yourself. So always keep in mind that you can always be better, you can always do better, you can always speak more nicely to others and to yourself. You can always, stop procrastinating. You can always apply for that better job. You can always, find someone better for you, find better friends. So basically, always have that, big picture of who you are. And yeah, you will be able to live with yourself. The fourth point is learn to genuinely love who you are now. Not the past, not the present, not the past, not the future, the present. Love the version of you that is right now, because it has taken a lot for you to be where you are right now. It might not be where you want to be, but it is somewhere, and it is something to be grateful for. So where you are right now is very important, and always, giving thanks and saying, getting here, I have done this, that, and that to me is enough. It's a lot. Being where you are has not been easy. We've all gone through a lot to be where we are right now. So wherever you are, you have worked hard to get there. You have talked yourself through the craziest of things, and you've made it. Every day that you wake up, you have succeeded in living. So basically, be grateful and be in love with the version of you that is present at the moment. Sometimes forget the past, forget the future, and just enjoy being the you that is now. So that even, if you go back to the past or the future, you can you can love those versions, because you genuinely loved the version at the present. Because if you think about it rationally or literally, the present is the only thing you have. Now, the power of now is all you have. The future is not existent, and the past is basically already gone. And the future and the past are present moments in themselves when they were happening or when they will happen. So learn to love the present you. And yeah, so sorry, there is a human being who has decided today is the day he'll run around shouting. Anyway, yeah, love the present version of you. It was not easy to get here, but you're here now. Yes, so basically, living with yourself should be one of the easiest things to do, because living with others is, it's a whole process. I usually say hell is other people. Someone said that. I'll figure it out. I'll write it in the subscription thing. Anyway, basically learn to live with yourself, learn to love yourself, and then it becomes really easier. It becomes easier to live with other people and love with other people. So yeah, that is it for today. Sorry for the interruptions. But once again, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.